Alright guys, how's it going? Now before I get into this video, I just want to point out I do have a throat and a bit of a chest infection or something going on. So my voice is a little bit croaky, alright? And I might have to clear my throat occasionally, so I do apologise. In advance, I will be live on here at 2 o'clock this afternoon UK time, if you want to come along for a natter. And I will also be doing a watch along live right here on CHATROOM.tv this evening if you want to come along and just discuss the game, you know. I don't provide commentary, you're not allowed to provide commentary actually, but we can talk about the game. If you're watching at home, you could just stick the laptop or the phone on and we can have a little natter during the game at half-time, etc. I won't be hanging around long after the game though, because we're 1 hour ahead here of the UK and I'll be tired by then. So, how are you doing? Now, Trent Alexander-Arnold, eh? I'm fucking sick of hearing about Trent Alexander-Arnold, I've got to be honest with you. But I'm going to give you my opinions as to what I think is going on. Now, if you subscribe to my free newsletter, right, where I send out the occasional email when I go for a coffee, when someone buys me a coffee, super thanks button, thanks very much. When I go out for a coffee, I take my laptop with me and I like to update my newsletter because I'm chilled, I'm in a nice environment and I tell you things and whatnot about Liverpool Football Club that sometimes I don't discuss in my videos. I think one of my most recent updates was to do with Trent Alexander-Arnold and to tell you what to look for over the coming months, which would include the period that we're at now, as I think that would indicate what's happening behind the scenes. So if you were subscribed to that newsletter, you would know what to look out for. And basically, all we're seeing at the moment regarding Trent Alexander-Arnold is, I think, his agent at work in terms of what you're seeing out there in the media. Because any reports you're seeing are only coming from the UK at the moment. I think the agent can lean on certain journalists in the click. So not the important journalists, not the important ones, not your Paul Joyce or your Ornstein or anything like that, but the click journalists, not the LFC clicker journalists. And that's something that I said to look out for. And, you know, when Trent Alexander-Arnold comes out and says certain comments, he knows that every single thing he says regarding his future creates a headline. These people know what to say and what not to say. So trust me, when you see anything, they know what they're doing, all right? So, you know, you imagine having a meeting with your agent, even if you're not that intelligent, like maybe you're a footballer and you're thick as 2 short planks, right? I mean, I'm sure they're not. I'm sure there's some intelligent ones. But your agent would sit there, wouldn't he, and go, look, right, next time they ask you out, you must get that out, get that particular line out. You need to say that, you need to say this, don't say this, don't say that. That's the whole point of having an agent, right? And I think what you're seeing at the moment is, I think the Trent camp want you, the supporters and the club, to think that there is a real possibility of him going to Real Madrid, when I don't actually think there is. Not at the moment. You know, you'll see the click journalists, they'll mention at the end of every article to do with Trent. And Trent could, you know, have a good game or be injured or score a goal, whatever. Any kind of random article about Trent Alexander-Arnold, and it will say, you know, the Trent Alexander-Arnold, the Liverpool defender that Real Madrid are monitoring, or the much wanted Trent, all this, they keep adding that little bit on, and it's lazy journalism. There is nothing here in Spain to do with Trent Alexander-Arnold, and there hasn't been. I can't remember anything this year coming out from Spain. I'm sure there will have been some speculation somewhere, but there's nothing really credible, all right, at the moment. Now, as I have previously said, as I said earlier in the summer, and as I probably said in the newsletter, that the longer it goes on, the more squeaky bum it gets, right? And then if Trent Alexander-Arnold then becomes available on a free transfer, or it looks like it, you know, like he can sign a deal on January 1st, right? Then that's when your big clubs might go, he's a decent player, he's available on a free, what can we do here, right? So the interest then can become very real. But I don't think Real Madrid have had any interest in Trent Alexander-Arnold in terms of paying a transfer fee, right? And I don't know if the player or the agent are actually believing some of the stuff that they're reading occasionally. There is, you know, like, it's making right. If you're an average Liverpool fan, right? I don't mean that in a funny way or anything. What I mean is you're a typical Liverpool, an average Liverpool fan. You watch Liverpool, you read a bit of stuff on social media, you read a newspaper, you watch the game. That's all you do, right? You're a typical average Liverpool fan. You're not obsessed, you care more than those that don't, sort of thing. You're just an average Liverpool fan, right? And I think that the average Liverpool fan genuinely thinks right now that Real Madrid, fuck off, Real Madrid are trying to do everything they can to sign Trent Alexander-Arnold. But I don't think that's the case, guys. I don't. I think they're deluding themselves, right? I do. I genuinely think they're deluding themselves because there has been no sign of that. Now, obviously, we don't know if things are happening behind the scenes. Well, you say that, but, usually something would come out somewhere. Nothing has. I think that they're doing a good job of creating this interest from Real Madrid that here in Spain, they're even discussing it. They're not even discussing it. So tomorrow, if I saw something in Spain that was credible, I'd think, there we go. Now he's available on a free. Now there's a possibility there's something going on here. There's something cooking. Do you know what I mean? I think you've got a player that's at Liverpool that knows he's a decent player. He's got his pal out at Real Madrid. And he'd like to link up with him and stuff like that. I get it, I understand it completely. But I can't help but think that it's been more wishful thinking than anything so far. But the longer it goes on, then maybe Real Madrid do kick in. Do you know what I mean? But all I'm trying to say is that with a transfer fee, I don't think Real Madrid have generally been sniffing around him. But when he's a free, then of course, why wouldn't they? Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I've said that for a long, long time. But you see, some of the click media want you to believe that Real Madrid have been sniffing around him for years, but Liverpool wouldn't sell and all that, So, yeah, the closer it gets, I mean, like we're into September. We're late into September now, right? The second week, usually the middle of November, is a very important time. Regarding the next year, especially the January transfer window, but also next year, Liverpool tend to have like an internal transfer summit, like like mid-November or something like that, to discuss what they're going to do. I just feel like that all that you're seeing at the moment in the papers is tactics from the Trent camp. But I don't want to. I'm not trying to say he's not a good player. He's a fucking great player. I'd be gutted if he left. And I'm not trying to say Real Madrid are not interested in him. I just think that people closer to home are trying to make it sound stronger than it is, to put people under pressure. Because remember, the more that the fans are under pressure, if they don't want him to leave, the more noise that creates, and the club are put under pressure to make sure it doesn't happen. But yeah, so anyway, that's it. So the reason for the video was to give you my thoughts on Trent. As things stand, I've always said I think he'll sign a new deal with Liverpool, and then we'll hear about how much he loved the club and how much he couldn't leave and all that. I'm always of the opinion that if Real Madrid did make a genuine attempt to sign him, I think he would be very tempted by it. I do believe that, but I don't think that genuine attempt has been forthcoming yet. It may change if he's going to become available on a free transfer. So in summary, I just think that you're just seeing the Trent Alexander-Arnold camp doing all the stuff at the moment. The minute anything gets said out here, I'll let you know. The thing is, many fans, if you like, back in the UK or around the world that are not here in Spain, right? They'll see something mentioned about Trent on some fucking radio stations, news page or something, and it's like, oh, reports in Spain say. No, I know exactly who to watch to keep an eye on the Trent stuff. I do. If I was to give you a prediction, I think if the longer it runs on, I think that you would see something credible from Spain, because it would be available on a free. And I also think that the Trent Alexander-Arnold camp are happy for this to drag on, hoping that Real Madrid. I'm pointing over there. I could point that way or that way. It's because Madrid's that way. It's true. I know my bearings. Yeah, Madrid's definitely that way. I generally think that the Trent camp are want it to drag out as long as possible to keep their options open. I really do. And if they don't come knocking, it's a case of, we're going to have to do something. You know what I mean? So There you go. Did I explain it right? I don't know. Listen, I only give my opinions, you know, so you form your own opinions. As of today, I don't think Real Madrid are trying to do anything, but maybe that could change. And when it does, I will let you know. All right. But if you were signed up for my newsletter, you'd know who to look for when stuff starts coming out and who to pay attention and who not to. And so far, if you did subscribe to my newsletter, which is completely free, you'd be thinking, oh, I remember Dunk saying that. Oh, look who's saying it. Look where it's coming from. DKB. Dunk knows best. All right, guys. Okay, I'm going live soon. Well, maybe not too soon, another hour and a half actually. So, yeah, I just wanted to leave that with you. All right, now, if you appreciate this video, please thumbs up the video. All right. Please drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you think Trent Alexander-Arnold, I'm going to just call him Trent from now on. Do you think Trent will extend? Or do you think he'll leave? Do you think he's got one eye on Madrid? I think he's got one eye on Madrid. But he ain't got nothing to do about it yet. There's nothing he can do about it. Let me know your comments, all right? Thumbs up, comment. Oh, and if you want to buy me a coffee, because I'd like to go and do a new newsletter. You know what I'm saying? Then you can hit the super thanks button and buy me a coffee. You've noticed I didn't say a beer. I'm not in the mood for a beer. Trying to be well behaved at the moment after my trip to England. If the super thanks thing's not visible or you want to use another method, there are other ways in the video description you can support me. But please do consider following me on social media, the newsletter, the chat room. Everything you need to know is in the video description under every video I upload. All right, guys, and it changes frequently. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Have a great day. Maybe see you at 2 o'clock. If not, maybe this evening for the game, all right? Cheers.